one was the one or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm curious to see what the week actually ends up looking like. Back again, another
Uh-huh.
show, another Thursday. Uh, Hopefully, my internet holds out. It's actually screwy, so I'm trying my phone, see how that works better. But um, Joe, lots of books. Did you hit up the store? I think you're saying you hit up the store.
Yeah, I went today. Almost a little too late.
Yeah.
I went to get a Shaolin Cowboy and found it, but I didn't get the Magnolia cover, which is what I want. Which is what I wanted.
Yeah.
There are only 3 copies left. I mean, I guess I should go on Wednesday.
Or you open up a whole box.
Yeah, then they know who I am. You know how that goes.
It's always better to be anonymous. Uh, no, I
I mean,
understand.
not really, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually just the way life went this week, I wasn't able to hit the LCS on New Comic Book Day or whatever. I was able to hit up the used bookstore spot that we like, and got some fun books there, but nothing like amazing. If you follow
Yeah.
me on Instagram, you can see some of my books I found. My favorite pull that I grabbed wherever I put my stack of books. So it's always fun when you don't know where you put. Oh, it's right here. Well, first thing I grabbed Blade Trinity, the DVD, because inside Blade Trinity, the DVD is a comic book. If you find the right one, and this actually has the first appearance of Whistler's daughter is actually in this comic book. So, so if Whistler ever makes another appearance, or his daughter makes an
You're
appearance, his daughter in the movie for Blade Trinity was Jessica Biel. Um, so if she ever makes an appearance, there it is in this comic here. This is the second one. I mean, I paid 95 cents for it, so it's not like
Gee, man,
so
big
I bought a
spender.
DVD from that. But my favorite pickup is this right here. So
Oh, nice. You love that book.
Last Unicorn. This IDW, I think it's IDW, yeah, this IDW series is near impossible to find. All the comics were. This graphic novel I paid 13 for. It can go for 50 to $70.
Wow,
So
nice.
it's a hard book to find, and I've just found it at our spot. So I was like, okay, those are some of your fun finds.
Yeah,
But
I saw some pretty decent horror trade paperbacks when I was there last time.
yeah, and some of
Like
those
Friday the 13th, they had it for like $8, and I
should have
looked
bought
it
it.
up, and it was going for like 40 or 50. But
You don't play that game.
it would have been work.
those are so. Those are the fun ones I like to say because I've done that. I flipped the Friday the 13th. I flipped the Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah,
Those are fun ones to flip. But
yeah.
let's hit them up and let's show them what books came out. Let's talk about some of the stuff, guys. There was a lot of books this week, and Joe, I showed Joe the slideshow. He hopped on about 15 minutes early. We looked at it, and he's like, "But there's this one, and there's this one,
And this one, yeah,
and this one." I was like, "Oh shoot, I probably said."
yeah.
Hey, but we first have to highlight. Hey, guess
Oh,
who's back?
hello, sir.
So, oh, nice. You went to Comic Con. I have not done a big con like Motor City or I think Mega Con's going on right now. I've been seeing people Instagram about that, but
Yeah.
yeah, Motor City I have never done. I've heard good things about that show. Sadly, here in Nashville, we don't have a good con like a Mega Con or anything like that or Motor City.
They'll hear you. They know.
So
Yeah, I
we
want to go. I want to go to Lake Como Con, where a bunch of my favorite guys just went. They look like such rich assholes, like Andy Kubert, like Adam Kubert, Andy Kubert, walking around like. I
yeah.
was like, screw you guys, like it's so beautiful. They were out on boats on the lake. I was like, man, that's not work. I hate you guys. So I didn't even know that was a thing. We definitely need to make that a thing, though.
Oh, there's so many. Like now that con season's back up and running, I mean it's definitely something in my mind. I got to find the right one
Yeah,
to go and like I've sold at small cons, but small cons it's such a different sell. Like the big cons, if you can get in, of course you pay an arm and a leg to set up, but those big cons, man, high rollers roll in to drop thousands of dollars on the keys. So if you happen to have them, it's great because you can make huge amounts of money. If you don't have them, then you're hoping that some of the big dealers will buy what's left of your stock, so you can go back home and try to build up a collection again. I only do the small stuff, so I don't. I would love to set up at a big con just once, and then go. Is it the work that you have to do? But
Yeah.
let's jump in, look at some of these books, and find out about them. So last week, like we said, there wasn't a ton, but there was some big books. This new, I want to say Hellions, because the Hellions had a cover similar. This is New Mutants 25. From chatter I've heard, I saw a sell for $170. This is the 1 for 100 art germ. So it should go for 100, but it went for 170. See, I think I saw another one for 200. So that looks like the market value right now. There's some auctions going right now. The 1 for 50, which is the trade dress, went for, I think I saw it was going for between 80 and 100. So this looks like
I heard people at the comic shop today talking about Archer. Like he's on people's minds, I guess.
And he's hit or miss for a lot of people, but I think this is right there at that line of, and you and I talk like, it's okay, it's great, but I mean it's one of his better ones. But the fact that it was in 1 for 50 and 1 for 100, and there is no trade, and we'll talk about that in a couple slides from now. That makes a huge difference in getting this cover if you like this cover. Because if there's always a trade for cover price, then it's like I don't really care about the Virgin quite as much. Right. So this is one of Sozo's better. It's going for about 40, 45. Nice. She's not a secret anymore, so you're not gonna. Her covers aren't gonna slip by. People saw this one and stores probably bought double they probably bought 50 copies instead of just 25 because they knew that someone would want this cover. So it's a great cover. I don't see it ever dropping below 50. So. And then the Adam Hughes, it's a 1 for 25, but it's going for about $35, $40. So I think in the long run, that might end up being the more sought after cover. But because Hughes has just diehard collectors, but the diehards also buy in the first week. It's those people that discovered Hughes late. They go, but I really want that one from Alice series, whatever that is.
Right.
So. This is a weird week because it was hard to put together slides of 1, 2, 3 books. Like it for one, or so like Something Skilled in Children, you got to show it. I have not been keep following since they picked back up. I haven't read any. I have the issues. I haven't read any of them. I do like this 1 for 25 in Hunkley, but I don't know. I won't pay over 25. Double O's came in. Sometimes the chat takes a minute to come through, but he wanted that Catwoman. So the Frisson, I'm getting tired of it already. I mean, the cover's great, but I'm getting tired of the mask. And then you can buy the bloody version or the not bloody version. So they come up with 4 covers for 1 image.
Right.
So, yeah, it gets hard when you're talking about that. But I heard last 2 issues have had sort of first appearances for Something Skilled in Children. So if you're into the mythos and you believe in the series and you believe that Netflix is not going to cut this show, even though they're cutting shows left and right before they get made, then pick up any first appearances. I mean, I definitely would. I just don't think the value is not quite the same unless it's bad. The cutter thinks the name becomes something big. All right, this is when we're talking about Trade Virgin Retro. This is J. Scott Campbell, Hulk number 7. I think this is the Hulk version of the Thor Banner War. So we already J. Scott Campbell did this for Thor as well, but there's a trade version that you can pay cover for. There's a 1 for 100 that's Virgin, and then you get the 1 for 200 Retro. Joe, you say you like the Retro. Why do you like the Retro better?
I do. I'm not a big fan of the airbrush. I never have been. And that's when it's like soft like that. I like the old. I like comics to look like they were made in the 80s, even if they're made today. Like
yeah, I was like, but that was even if he airbrushed the first one, all he did was change the filter.
Oh yeah. It's super easy to do that. The same thing with Something Skilled in Children. It's all It's all digital.
Yeah.
It's all add a layer here, take this layer off, and they just keep flipping them around. Like it's smart. It's what like Mike Mayhew does that when he colors something. You'll see it. It'll be green. Then he'll do another one and it's blue, and you're like, whoa, hey, because it's so easy to do that now. I mean, as an artist, like, good for them. They're figuring out ways to use their work multiple times. So, but yeah, I like that retro coloring. It's great. I wish that was the regular one.
I crack up, and this is like the C cover. The Virgin is not the trade. I mean, it's not even annoying. Like,
right.
Okay, whoa, I don't have the number 7 in the corner. I mean, like, and the barcode's gone. Like, the barcode is a little annoying if I really wanted to see the rest of that L. Double O is on your side, Joe.
Yeah, good job.
He liked everything looked like it was made in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah. So I'm not gonna chase the one for 200. I probably won't even pick up any of this. I've gotten so burned out on the buzz that surrounds Venom and Hulk and Thor that, like, I'll wait because stores buy 50 copies of the book or 100 copies depending on where you live, and usually we end up finding them in $1 or $2 bins. Department of Truth, I guess, is semi back, or I can't remember if it took a break or not.
I guess so. I liked what they were doing, but I think Simmons needed some time to bank some issues because they were handing it around. Like Fornes did one, Alson Sampson did one. I bought both those issues because they're both gorgeous. And I mean, I like this series. It gets a little preachy in places that I'm like, man, stop preaching and just tell the story. But I really like the one for 50. Like, really like it.
Yeah, and
the A is good too because it's Statue of Liberty with like her eyes X'd out. So
but and this annoys you, I know, and it bothers. But the one that everyone's going to want is the McFarlane, not just because it's one for 100, though that makes it. But like I think it was issue 12 had a Sync, a McFarlane, and just a regular Simmons, and the McFarlane was the only one anyone cared about.
Yeah, that's crazy because Sync.
No, sorry, that was Philadelphia that happened. Philadelphia, like issue 10 or 12, had that happen.
Yeah. I would not recognize this as Todd McFarlane. Yeah, like I don't care for this image at all. There's nothing about it that makes me go, oh, awesome. I would have passed this up in a heartbeat. And I like Todd. I do. I like a lot of his work, but I mean, these characters from this book are all fucked up, so it makes sense.
I'm with you. I'm not this cover doesn't. I mean, I like the one for 50 just like you do. It's by far I didn't even take this shit. Like the McFarlane's the last book I take on this slide.
Yeah, for sure.
So
but I mean, it'll be worth a lot. So.
Because we're really good at choosing what's going to be hot and what's not. Speaking of what's going to be hot and what's not, these will probably not be hot at all, but I figured I liked them. We both loved the Swamp Thing.
I like all 3 of the covers from Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Swamp Thing's been pumping out great covers. It's a hard, just like always. Hey, someone back, Comic Q Crazy is backing us up, Joe. He doesn't like the McFarlane as well.
Thanks. Good job.
So, but Ian Gist, if you don't follow him on Instagram, follow him. Like he posted this image a while back. He's killing it on his Star Wars covers. His stuff's awesome. I got to interview him. He's the nicest guy. He teaches art out in California at some small little college.
I loved his Obi-Wan #1.
Oh yeah, I wish it had been the main cover. It wasn't even an incentive though. That's like why did you like the B cover and not the incentive?
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Yeah,
I did go find it eventually. So. This Swamp Thing is good too. I've read the first arc.
Have you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm slowly getting back into reading DC. I'd given up on them for a while.
That's
and
fair.
I'm picking up. I read Strange Adventures. Yeah, Strange Adventures. I read the Tom Taylor or the Tom whatever Mid-Jaredis thing.
Yeah,
it's okay. It wasn't.
It's okay.
It lost what was great at first. Lost it about halfway through.
Yeah. Well, and normally I think it's a cool idea to split the book and and the way Tom King wrote it, it made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I even liked Doc Shaner, but I didn't love the parts. I just was like, man, give me Mitch Gerads.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just probably because I freaking love Mitch Gerads so much that I'm like, man, what are you doing? You're just messing with the Golden. And I got excited because I guess yesterday or 2 days ago, he and Tom King announced their next book. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Original graphic novel, 64 pages. I don't know if you can call that a graphic novel. Prestige format, I think, is what we're calling that these days. Riddler. And it looks awesome because he's been teasing stuff for like a little bit since like January. And I was like, this is definitely a Batman book. And then he said he hadn't posted like hardly anything. So he's been working on this book for months and months. So to get 64 pages of him working months and months, that means they're going to be amazing. Because he's pretty fast.
Yeah.
To be so detailed. He's really fast. So yeah, I'm pumped about that. Sorry to derail everything.
So we skipped the Freddie Williams covers. If you like him, you like him. I'd start throwing them up there for you to look at. This Deathstroke Incorporated 1 for 25 Opinion. We are both Opinion fans. Joe actually got me back into comics by handing me off the Uncanny X-Force run that Opinion contributed to, and then 7 to Eternity came out, which took an eternity to come finish.
But his Moon Knight, his Punisher, they're both excellent runs. So anything he does, I want to look at.
Yeah, and this I love these covers they're now doing, where it's like there's so much going on. It really feels like you're just catching a snapshot of a movie.
Yeah.
This looks great. I mean, is there value there? Not sure.
Yeah.
Comic You Crazy saying he's still looking for I think Opinion did the Strange Academy 1 for 50. But then
I didn't see that. I should check that out.
Then you got Harley here.
They just teased Jonathan Hickman. Just teased that Opinion's doing a story for his 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, or whatever. So
dang it, I don't want to subscribe to and actually pay to see those things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah.
But his Substack, I guess, is close to reaching 10,000 people.
They just sent out the email. I'm on that side of it. I get the email, so I don't want to pay to get the books. So.
I think they said of the 10,000, 2,000 are paying.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So Harley Quinn, I don't read Harley Quinn. But I do sort of like this cover, the Shahirama cover. It's just sort of fun. It's something different. I'm a sucker for some graffiti in the back of some of these paint. Then it's a weird feeling book. This Robin, but the shadows are just so much fun.
Yeah,
it's just fun, and I like it when artists take chances, and I feel like they accomplished it here. Just the way the shadows play, and I like that.
It's also white. You're a sucker for a white background.
I am.
So that's good.
Whew. This is a book. I mean,
I would maybe pay for that.
Yeah, this Moon Knight sync cover is ridiculous. It's so nice. It is a beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm a fan of it. I will try to track it down, but it's going to be one that's going to be easily double ratio pretty quickly. Because Moon Knight's, for most people, it's slow. The stores probably might get 25 copies, but they're not getting 50. But they, at the same time, if I saw on the solicitation sync 125, I might go, okay, I'm going to do 50. Just because his Moon Knights always sell.
Yeah.
This one here in the middle, this is me speculating. The Spiderman 2099, I guess it was Alpha or whatever the first one that came out like 2 weeks ago, had the first appearance of Winter Soldier 2099. I'm someone who read the book can probably tell me, but I'm pretty sure this is her on the cover.
Yeah, I think it is too.
So first cover appearance. I don't know how much of an appearance she had in the first book. So
I think she's on cover A too.
Okay, but I like this cover, just the way the look of it.
Well, this is the one that spotlights her, but it's kind of like 3 bars, I think, and she's in the middle bar.
Okay.
You gotta look to find
So
her.
man, you put. I was like, I barely glanced.
I
at this
did
book.
my homework this time, man.
All new Firefly. It's a 1 for 50. Scott Forbes. His covers sometimes have spec value, but she definitely has spec value when she's the featured on the cover. So there's not a bunch of them, and there's not going to be that many stores that get 50 copies of Firefly because there's not that many people out there. I see them in dollar bins all the time. I mean,
all the time.
So more covers we like. Guys, this is the Recount preamble. This is the Brian Silverback. I can't tell. I think it's in this like a 1 for 5 or 1 for 10 incentive, but I'm not quite sure about that. But Brian Silverback has done a movie cover homage to each one of these issues, but he hasn't done it necessarily through Scout. He has done it for stores. So you got to get the full collection. Like his first one was Scarface, and you get it through the Scout website. This is the Recount was a 4-issue event. Now that he's doing another 4 issues. I like the story. It's fun. Supposedly it's been optioned, but everything is optioned. Comic Crazy's telling us it is a 1 for 10. I'm hoping that's the thing he's talking about. 1 for 10. That's what I thought too. But the price I saw was like $5.99. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I like the Recount. It's a fun read. Trying to make this little set sort of fun because like it's a random stores have one of these covers. So it's sort of a fun set. If you watch the Doctor Strange movie, which I did not, Joe did.
I did. Monday night by myself.
Captain Carter ruining spec for you guys, but at this point, you've had 2 weeks. I mean, I haven't watched it, and I've everyone hated and loved her part in the movie. So I don't know how much spec is there. Witter has some followers. Ashley Witter, she did all those Doc Afra covers for the first round Dr. Afra. And there's a couple of incentives that people really like. So just letting you see she's doing this is issue 3. But this is a cover on the right, Joe, that we both love.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And especially when we get to the next one where we see it the 1 for 50, but we choose this one.
It's new. I've never seen this. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it, And it's hard to do that and make it exciting. And he did. He pulled it off.
Yeah. There you go, Joe.
For sure.
So yeah, this is Rod Reese, however you say his name. I got a chance to interview him last year, maybe year before. Nice guy from Brazil. His style, he did the New Mutants covers and actually the interiors for the New Mutants. I don't know if he did 25, but
I read the first arc last week. It was fine.
Yeah, it's just sort of fun. New Mutants is that tricky. It's hard to, especially if you haven't been reading the other X-Men stuff. It's like, what's Krakoa? What's going on?
Yeah.
Where did this person get created? I have absolutely no clue what this Spectro book is about. Did you read?
No, I just saw this and was like, that's a pretty great green glowing skull.
Yeah. This is the 1 for 15. It looks, judging by this with the image shape, it looks like to be one of the big books they've been doing.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see here. It kind of looks like the reader cover of Miles. Not sure which cover of Miles. Shoot, it's been a while since I've seen. So, but Batman White Knight incentive. I like the cover A better.
I do too.
And actually, the B's okay, but I hate that Murphy did the thing he did in the last arc too, where it's like the B cover it looks like it's a cover of a new book, and it's really issue 3 because it's Batgirl. It's so frustrating because you think you're getting a new story, and you're like, oh, it's just part 3 of this book.
Yeah. But we both have a soft spot for Dustin Nguyen, so anytime we see him, and his Batman is spectacular. So, and it's a white cover.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also
both like it.
It's not as washed. Like the water. He didn't use the watercolors. This is more ink.
Yeah, man, he's been playing. He's been trying new things. I think he got tired of watercoloring.
Doing Ascender and Descender.
Yeah, literally. And I guess he worked on a little Gotham thing too. That's all watercolored too. So
and what's like Little Monsters? I mean,
Little Monsters is straight digital.
Yeah,
I think all of it's digital. So,
but he still has the same effect. He still has that washed out and except for those random splotches of red or whatever.
Yeah, he's using halftone like crazy in that book, and
Yeah.
it's kind of annoying when you
Mhm.
know how he's doing it, but also like I read most of it digital, and when I got the actual book, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Because digital when you shrink or move anything that's got a halftone, it does this weird like jimble jamble.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see him kind of like doing new stuff. And then Bloodstained Teeth, something I really liked. I loved the first issue.
Because you were surprised, and I was too, but that it was as colorful as Spectro over here.
Yeah, the interiors of that book, it is drawn from like, I mean, he basically made a movie with his friends basically, and just took all of these photo references, and Patrick Reynolds is just straight up drawing those photographs that he took as like detailed as he can. They look amazing. And the problem with making art that looks that realistic is it tends to like slow you down because you like, oh, it's real. Instead of like, you watch Twig jump around or whatever, and your brain's like totally fine with it. Animals can talk, whatever. But when you see something really real, your brain like sits on it differently. So to destroy that, they went with this crazy color palette that looks like the Spectro. And I was floored because I had just seen his ink drawings on Instagram and hadn't seen a preview of what it looked like on the inside. And it's like neon crazy. I was very impressed because it's ballsy.
Yeah.
It's like not Dave Stewart coloring it.
Sticking with the indie theme, rolling in, and it maybe some people watching think, has Bendis left DC or
Double O? Tell us about that, because we were both like, what is happening with Bendis?
Because he's taking everything to DC. Like his Powers is getting redone by Dark Horse. Pearl Volume 3 is coming on Dark Horse. Joy Operations, like it wasn't surprising that he was on Dark Horse for an issue, but like now that he's taking stuff that he actually started at DC or like Powers, which started at Icon/Marvel, that event Image, then it went like it just sort of interesting. But this is a Momoko cover. It's not too bad. The A cover is pretty good too. It's Gydos.
I like the A cover.
Yeah, I like highlighting Momoko when it doesn't quite look like her normal stuff. I mean, it's still Momoko. It's obviously Momoko.
Yeah.
And Double O just said he's just not exclusive to DC. We were just more curious because for a second there, it was like a big, huge deal. He signed that contract with DC and left Marvel. And he wrote Superman for a minute and Legion of Superheroes and Super Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes or whatever. And then the Leviathan and whatever. But now to see him doing Dark Horse and taking stuff from DC is just sort of interesting.
Yeah. Like I was saying when we were talking before the show, like when he first went there, I thought, this is great. I'm finally going to get the Bendis Malieve Batman run that's going to be as dark as their Daredevil run. That is really the thing that got me back into comics when I was in my 20s. Because it read like you're watching a movie. The images were dark. It was gritty. I was like, oh man, if this was Batman, because I like Daredevil. Like he's one of my favorite Marvel characters, but Batman's my bread and butter, So I was like, heck yes, this is gonna, and nothing.
So you're still gonna have to live with Batman Chronicles like 10,
I know,
or whatever the random issue that he wrote.
Yeah. So anyway, Pearl was good. I read the first couple arcs of it.
Yeah.
It's Gatos. I mean, I love him. I did really like this Ice Cream Man cover. I mean, as far as a book talking about like just not afraid to do weird shit, these guys have just been like, hey, whatever we can get that is different looking on the shelf. And you always know it's a weirdo thing.
Well, then the B cover is the freaking like, we want to be Dolly, but we're not Dolly. Or who's the other guy? That's not the surrealist, not Friends something or whatever. I'm lost. You're the art teacher. Come on.
Yeah, you were the art teacher before me. And that's not true, actually.
But yeah, like it looks like Dolly. I mean, but
Yeah,
or the other guy who looks like Dolly that came out the same period. But yeah, and then guys, this is the Image. They're doing these. I think it's 12 issues total.
yeah.
They're doing their anthology things, but they're starting stories within these that are unique. They're not repeating stories. Some of them are 12-part stories. Some of them are 3
10.
parts.
Yeah, some of them are 10, some are 3, some are so there's gonna be first appearances basically in all of it
Yeah,
from what I've looked at the solicitations. And
yeah.
you grabbed the first one.
Yeah, I grabbed the one that looks like the foam color with radiant black on there. It
Yeah.
was great. It was good. Like 2 or 3 of the stories were really good. Like I want to see where they go. Um, Now I think it's a $6 book, so you have to be careful if you're in. Anytime you speculate on indie books, it's
Yeah.
very hard. And some people don't like anthologies. I like them. I got Skybound X's 1 through 5, and I'm gonna get when Skybound comes out this summer. I'm gonna get the ones because there's gonna be some Battle Beast Invincible stories in them. But and this is Mirka Andolfo, who does Sweet Paprika as the cover, but she's become the new darling from Italy,
Mm.
doing her style, which I appreciate. I like it when any artist you can identify from their style. It's just sort of nice. Then more of this is actually what we sort of read and get excited about. Joe, I know you like the cover A,
I
but
do.
Philadelphia, this
Yeah.
cover I had to show it. I don't even know what the heck's going on,
Yeah. It's a good
but
book. If you haven't read it, you should.
and the freaking black and white cover that it's just slightly different than the cover A, but it looks really good too. I think I
Yeah.
liked it better from the looks of it.
I've grabbed every one of those noir books I could find. I
Yeah,
missed it. I missed it last month because I went on Thursday.
yeah,
Because sometimes Thursday works better for me than Wednesday.
yeah.
And I went and they had like one. I think I got the last copy of Philadelphia the day after. Like, and our place gets a lot of those. Like they
But
know people like it.
but
So
the, at a certain point, most stores do this. After issue 10 or 15, if there's not buzz about a book, then if you like it, you put it in your box.
I mean that's true.
So I
But
mean, so they'll keep ordering.
there's always me.
Yeah. So, but so they buy 5 issues that are for always you, and you just
Right.
better show up, or you have a box and you call, and you
Yeah.
get that set. But yeah, no, I'm with you. It like yeah, I always used to think, oh yeah, I can find that. No, some of those like Philadelphia, and they've become slowly becoming collectible and valuable, which is funny to me too, because you're like, but how? How
Right.
are like
It's just it's a good book.
yeah,
And I think there's probably a lot of people who think, wow, it's kind of Hamilton meets werewolves meets
hmm
vampires, like uh, it's like Hamilton meets horror, I guess, in a lot of ways. The artwork is stunning. It's written really well. Rodney Barnes has done a lot of writing, and you
yeah,
can tell. You can tell now. He's really good. So I
yeah.
don't know. I'm always excited when it's a Philadelphia week.
Here we got Rogue Sun. I'm just throwing this cover up here. If you know who Derek Charm is, he's the guy who did Star Wars Adventures for IDW, the Battle War, Clone Wars books. Um, so I just think he does that sort of teenage, middle school grade art. So it's sort of fun. Uh, love Saga. Joe and I both do. So you got
Hmm.
to highlight it. But this cover's stupid good.
Yeah.
And then
I
what's
mean,
the solicitation?
it's like, what does this fish have to do with the story? Find out and see. Like, they don't even have to. They don't even have to. Like, there are so many people that freaking love this story, and just like they don't have to work, and it's awesome. Like that they have built this like community around this book.
I'm trying to think.
Unbelievable.
Ooh, is this? And then the 60 comes, and then they take a break again, right? Don't they do 6 issue breaks?
Yeah, traditionally, but because they've been off for so much, I
Yeah.
think I think Fiona has so many books
I mean, I would hope so. But it's
done
like, yeah.
that I think she's probably 10, 15 issues in. So it might be a minute before they take a break.
Okay. More indie spotlight, guys. Good Boy 2, Volume 2 comes out, issue 1. This is the B cover. So many store exclusives are floating around for this book. The Kickstarter has gone out. I ordered through the Kickstarter. Wait, the metal copy that I ordered is supposed to be coming soon. Just waiting on it to show up. But I like the first one. Joe, you read the director's cut. It's
Yeah,
just
I looked at it today.
yeah.
I almost bought it. It was like $2 more than I wanted to pay for it. But I know I'll probably never see it again. But it was kind of cool. I'd never seen it done the way they did it. The artist kind of put footnotes in, basically.
Yeah.
So just like describing you like what she was thinking or whatever, and then there you'd flip the page and it'd be like page 12, the script, and you're like, oh, cool. So I was real close to getting it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I did like it. I liked that book a lot.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, even though I did the Kickstarter, I will probably still buy each one of issue 1, 2, and 3. Because there's some great covers by artists like we really like. Like Francavilla did covers. I mean, some are awesome.
That's the one I grabbed. 00, you should read it. It's good.
Yeah, the saga. It's worth definitely the trades or the. I have actually got every issue. Then I have the one for the minibus or the omnibus or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like I have the 1 and the 2. I don't have the 3, which is like the 18 issues.
Compendium or whatever.
Compendiums, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the few books that when I grabbed the trade, I was like, I'll read the first one, whatever. And then I immediately went to eBay to try and find the second one for cheap, and then bought the third one for cheap. It was every night after I would finish reading one, I would sit there in bed trying to find the next volume for the cheapest price I could. I did the same thing with Firepower, believe it or not.
It's good. I mean, it's surprising.
Yeah, it's a little too wholesome.
Yeah.
For me.
Which is funny coming from the guy who wrote Walking Dead.
Right. But it's such a family, it's a family book.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't such a family book, I think it would be perfect. But yeah, it's really good. I'm on board and buying all of the issues as they come out now, and that's annoying.
All right, so Fox and the Hare, it's Vault. This is Jen Bartel cover. There's also a black and white version. I think it's the 1 for 100. I think it's the 1 for 75 or 1 for 50. Vault is one of those companies. They pump out a bunch of incentive covers for issue 1. But some of their books have been really good. I read the Blue Flame came out and had that, and actually enjoyed issue 1. It was pretty good. And there's been 2 or 3 of them that have been really good. None of them have taken off. But yeah, it looks like a fun book. Jen Bartel, she has her fans and followers, so you probably could, if you find it for under $50, it might be a worth an investment. And then this is it Simmons again? Yeah, Martin Simmons had 3 different covers in here that we've shown you. This is Rush, which is another Vault book.
Which is not bad. I read it.
What does it stand for? I can't remember.
Red Bloody Hills or something. It's
yeah. If there's issue, one of the issues you can buy, it has it's an acronym for something.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, it's pretty good. The artwork's pretty good. That was why I picked it up.
Yeah.
I was kind of impressed actually that it kept my attention because I just snapped it up on a whim one Wednesday.
So yeah, the Simmons cover makes me want to pick up and read some of it.
It's kind of got some David Mack.
Oh yeah,
feel to it.
No reason at all you should buy either of these 2 books, but we have to show them to you. The Cerberus and Hell books are fun, just strictly because they've acknowledged that no one actually reads Cerberus anymore. So now they do. Maybe you guys do, but they said we're just gonna do homage covers to books that, I don't know, Joe. You remember the Cerberus and Hell did the homage cover to the Batwing. They did the Damned. Instead, it said penis across the top.
No, I didn't see.
And then they had the edited version with 5 X's.
Awesome.
So, but this is the most controversial Alf cover that they're doing. If you don't know this cover, Alf books are worth absolutely nothing except for this one's worth hundreds of dollars or $50 or $25. It's so hard to find because you'll find a complete run of Alf and you won't find that issue because I've looked because I know how controversial this issue is. It's spit an image of it. And then this is Opus, the company that did the Frazetta that we really liked last week with the beautiful Del Auto covers that sold for, it was 1 for 30 and it would sell for $50. Oh, there we go. Here's what Rush stands for.
I knew somebody. No.
Reddens Under Snowclad Hills. There it is.
Yeah.
The Hungry, or so The Rush is the Hungry. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
This is a McFarlane cover. Once again, one that I probably don't want, but it's an incentive McFarlane. But this is by the band Disturbed. If you like Disturbed, here they are doing a comic book. But there are some band guys have done comics, and their first ones are worth so much. Coheed and Cambria. If you can find
What?
the first,
Are you speaking English? What'd you say?
yes, Coheed and Cambria, the band. His Carlos Sanchez, I think is his name. His first book that he wrote goes for $40-$50 if you can find it, because it's so hard to find. Some people really like it. He also did Armory Wars that you can find in dollar bins or whatever. But the first run of that actually has a little bit of value as well.
Okay, I know what you're talking about
now. Rags Morales did the art in those. So incentives, we showed you a lot of books, guys. There aren't a lot of random pictures, but here's the incentive list. So many books. There's like 5 slides of this, guys. This is Too Little Toy, Killer Affairs Estate. So bummed, Joe, when I found out that, I think I told you this, I found out this book is originally written in France, which doesn't make it bad. It just means these are not first books. And then there's actually Killer, and then this is like the 3rd volume of the book. So me thinking I got a one per store exclusive of a first appearance of a character, not so much. But I really do like this Too Latte cover.
Yeah.
As far as the rest of them, the Magic Hidden Planeswalker, check out some of those incentives. There's some pretty good looking covers, and I'm not a big Magic person or know anything. I know Planeswalker is an important card to have, but I don't know anything more than that when it comes to Magic. But the 1 for 25 is really a good cover, and the Paquette cover is pretty good too. Paquette, or however you say it. Power Rangers Universe number 6. There's the the Montez negative space version cover, 1 for 100 or 1 for 150. But I read the solicitation for this. Whatever, this is the last issue of this Power Rangers universe. It'd be great to have the complete set of the negative space variants, but also supposedly there might be like the be all end all Ranger. So I don't know if that's a new or if they just combined and they become Rainbow Ranger or whatever. But if you're in the Power Rangers, something to look at. The Vampire Slayer number 2 is actually sort of a fun cover. I think there's a Francavilla cover. That's pretty cool for that one. Here, this is Fair Square Classified Jaeger Volume 1 graphic novel. This is the 1 for 10. Just Fair Square is the company that did Mutiny books I really like. Joe, you were correct. 00 says, and this is the book that Joe told me to find and we couldn't find it in time. The Drusilla Scout. Yeah, I missed out on that one.
Yeah.
Scout's so tricky. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, that was just one that I was like, oh, we missed that one. Like 2 minutes before we went live.
And Scout is so hard sometimes to know which book is actually coming out. Because
that book has been pushed back at least twice.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, we'll talk about that next week. And then it wasn't there. And then I was like, oh, we'll talk about that next week. And then it wasn't there. So
and Scout does a lot of they send their books out monthly. So like even though it might come out on the 3rd week, that you might get it on the 1st week. So some stores might throw it on the shelf. And even though League of Comic Geeks or Preview says it comes out week 3, it actually came out week 1 because your store got all 20 copies that week or whatever. So it gets tricky when it comes to Scout.
Yeah.
Here's the other Devil's Reign book that we're talking. This is Malieve. This is Joe and I were talking. This looks like an homage to.
Yeah, it's the same that the Electra was last time that we liked so much.
Yeah, it's an homage cover, but it's Malieve. We love Malieve. This is a 1 for 50, just gorgeous. Worth picking up if you can find it for a good price. I love the Chip Zdarsky's all of his runs has been amazing. It's so worth reading. I got all the Devil's Reigns book. I will pick up Omega. The final chapter before they pick up with Daredevil number 1 again, which I'm so happy they're continuing on.
Yeah, it's the same team, right?
Mm-hmm. Same team. Shadow's coming back too. So
smart.
Savage Spider-Man. I read issue 1 and I didn't want to read issue 2. Like, I mean, and I'm a Spider-Man guy. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't what I like. Yeah.
How was the Ramita Jr.?
The Spider. This.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I will probably keep picking up the Amazing Spider-Man just because it's Amazing Spider-Man, but also in issue 1, which is overprinted. You have Mary Jane has kids that aren't Spider-Man's kids. So something happened in 6 months. So trying to figure that out is sort of one of those things. Is always tricky. So let's see here. We got a new fan hopping in and giving some hands, Mr. Rockfish.
Rockfish. All right.
So yeah, guys, that's sort of the list of all the different books we talked about. Thank you guys. I know we went long. We had a lot of books to talk about. I mean,
yeah,
but yeah, there's so many good covers to look at, guys. Check out our stuff. Please please subscribe. You guys have been great. Those of you that jump in the chat. We will catch you next time. As always,
Peace.
Sundays I drop the articles. So.